sticks, it's a neon dream. Voices whispering trades I shouldn't make. Fevered fantasies are just another mistake. Confidence, they say, buy high, hold tight. Far too late when the market takes a flight. Whispers twist my nerves, I'm falling for the bait. Ending up with losses at an alarming rate. Voices in my head make me buy when I should sell. Euphoria and dread, it's a roller coaster spell. Whispering doubt makes me break my golden rule. I'm just dancing with my demons, acting like a fool. Voices screaming in my head, shut the hell up, please shut the hell up. Stress and panic tug me from side to side. One day a king, next day I run and hide. Self-doubt knocks me on the edge of the drop. My faith in numbers sways until it finally stops. One minute they're shouting about the moon. Next moment despair hits, it's over too soon. Paralyzed by fear, profits slipping away. Caught in this constant battle every single day. Voices in my head make me buy when I should sell. Euphoria and dread, it's a roller coaster spell. Whispering doubt makes me break my golden rule. I'm just dancing with my demons, acting like a fool. Voices screaming in my head, shut the hell up, please shut the hell up. 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 They gathered round the screen, eyes on the monitor bright. They're waiting for the turkey to stream day or night. With Fibonacci lines and trend lines bold, they're ready to learn their crypto wealth to unfold. Here they come to watch the turkey. Oh yeah, yeah, here come the turkey. Yeah, you know he's gonna call it right. No, 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 he gonna call it right. viewers, they're a curious breed. They're searching for the next big thing, their fortunes to read. They're clicking on the turkey, their hearts beating fast. They're ready
Check,
to
1 2 1 2.
ride the waves, their crypto portfolios to amass. Here they come to watch the turkey.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to watch the turkey? Get out your cowbells. So we can't start a show without a cowbell.
Here they come to watch the turkey. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Here come the turkey. Yeah, you know he's gonna call it right. No, 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 no. He gonna call it right. There's a screen door.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you very much.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome everyone to Late Night Crypto with Roda. Why is my stream off? I got mine behind here, so when I keep up with my chat on, and it's off. Or behind, rather. There we go. Now we're on target. Welcome everyone. Glad to have you here. The market is obviously full of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I'm here on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart. And we got down to 86,000 on most exchanges there. Nice. Really. On this particular, this was futures on MEXC, got down to 86,066 area there. And man, you got every take on this market on YouTube. You got all these scenarios. I mean, we're calling for 70,000, 75,000. You got the whole gamut, or we're just going to blast off from here. You got the whole run of it. You got so much fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market. And I just want to take the first part of this stream just to kind of just zoom out and let's look at the bigger picture. I'm starting off here at the 4-hour on this particular chart. I just happened to flip on it before. I was looking on it last night doing all kinds of different analysis because, well, we're tanking, obviously, dropping from those of you who have been under a rock. Yeah, Bitcoin fell from 95, which is kind of okay, all the way down here. And you've got every theory imaginable out there being plotted. There's a lot of fear, and then there's lots of hope, and the market's definitely uncertain, no doubt about it. And you got arguments, valid arguments on both sides. It's easy to be confused here. I mean, for the Wyckofians, they're trying to figure out if this is a distribution or a reaccumulation. We all hope it would be a reaccumulation. It only makes sense at this point in the time of the 4-year cycle. This would be a reaccumulation. Remember, Bitcoin centers on a 4-year cycle, and this is the cycle the whole world, the Bitcoin people, the OGs have been waiting for, and we're just hoping to see in their lifetime is when Bitcoin finally gets world mass adoption. You can't sit here and tell me that the bear market's over. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. Sorry, as somebody in the Bitcoin space since 2013 is when I first learned about it and started messing with it. I'm not falling for that. If I were smart back then, I would have held on to every Bitcoin that I could get when it was a lot cheaper, when it was under $1,000. When I sold it for $400 thinking this market sucks. Yeah, I'm not buying it, not going to. But is this the point where we just rock it off? By the pre-year cycle, it should be, we're a little bit behind schedule, to be honest with you, but we've done really good. We come from 15,000 all the way up to 100,000. It's not bad. Past all-time highs from last cycle, not bad. Still above those all-time highs right now. We've only had less than a 20% drop, and I was shocked when I measured that. When you take the top from here where we were at $110,000 Bitcoin. Let me say that again. $110,000 Bitcoin. And we fell all the way down to 86. That's 21% falls. 20% fall in crypto. Well, for altcoins, that could be a blessing because they go a lot worse, as you can see by your bags, I'm sure. But for Bitcoin, a 20% drop is nothing, and that shouldn't scare us out of this market. Yet a lot of people are scared out of the market right now. Some people are. Some people see this as a buying opportunity, and I think it is definitely a buying opportunity. The only times when it wouldn't be a buying opportunity is if you're trying to do something short term and use leverage on it. There are long-term leverage plays, and personally, honestly, and I've been saying this in the Telegram group, which is free, by the way, for anybody that's not familiar with us. Yeah, I do have a free Telegram group. Lots of cool people. It's where all the cool kids hang out. There's no drama over there. There's no shilling going over there. It's just a good group of people who like to help each other, and that's what I hoped and prayed for that it would be, and that's what it is. And we got one of the best groups out there, I do believe. Just helpful in sharing, just insight. It's just good vibes, and you need that. You need a good support system in crypto, because your husband or wife ain't gonna sit there and talk to you about crypto all the time unless you're one of the lucky ones. 21.5% drop to where we came down to 86,000. That's nothing. And I was looking at this before the show. I was like, wow, should we I mean, we haven't broken a trend line. We're still respecting this trend line from way back here. And I want to connect a few other little dots right here. What we got? It may not line up perfect, but we still got, she did pretty something kind of neat. We got our touches in right here with the wicks. The wicks are on the 4 hour. What's happened here? Well, now the 4 hour candle seems that we got some bounces here, and you see these wicks on these candles. Anytime you see wicks on candles like that, that's where buyers are stepping in and they're pushing the price up faster than the bears can push it down. That's a good sign, and we got this at an area of support here. Ichimoku cloud is starting to thicken out here. That's some good signs. I have got no moving averages on or anything right now. This is just a naked chart. It's that's maybe what's throwing me off here. It's kind of refreshing in a way. Just us in the price action. I always like to check for angles, and we did have one, and then we could see this as some people would call it a swing failure pattern or a bull trap. And from there, they just basically, that was where we started our move down here. And that's where some people in the Wyckoff distribution might look at this as a Wyckoff distribution idea, because from what I understand, I'm not a Wyckoff expert at all. I defer to the Wyckoff traders like Black Box Trading. He's great. He's my favorite Wyckoff trader, person that looks like things in a Wyckoff frame. I haven't seen what he says, but I'm dying to see if he's posted anything. But usually, looking at a horizontal line as a channel. But you got this little guy here, and usually with those distributions, that's where they'll take you and then quickly bump you down, and that could be a scenario where you get a higher high, but then all of a sudden you're making lower lows than what you had before, which we did, right? We just did. And so, I mean, really what you got to look for here is if it is a Wyckoff distribution, this will probably be the place where it falls over. Okay, all right, well, we got distributed. Maybe we'll have a two hump top, and we'll be fighting about 120,000 maybe if we're lucky, and that's what, a cycle like last time, which sucked. It had also a lot of manipulation going on with Bitcoin prices back then too. And we definitely are seeing it. So, I mean, it's possible, and it's valid for people to look for that. You just look for the signs that may confirm that. We've got no confirmations for that yet, but it's something to put on the radar. It's starting with the more bearish news first, I guess. However, the contrary to that, if it's not a distribution, it's a reaccumulation. Oh, now that's different. Now, and that does fit in with our 4-year cycle right now. And we can go back to 2020 and we can see they had a reaccumulation event there, and well, they always do on the cycle up, because when you have your market cycles, you got your bottoms, your tops, your bottoms, your market phase here, and then you get a little zone area, and that's what we had in the summer when we thought, and people were calling, what did they say then? Bull market's over. I remember that distinctly. People calling bull market's over. It's like, no, we haven't even, this totally doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we had that one and we came through, and I honestly, and we're above all-time high. We were here too, I believe. We definitely were. But do that again. My drawing sucks on here. and then continue on with the next 12 months of up the up. That would be the scenario you're looking for if this is a Wyckoff reaccumulation. The thing that marks off a Wyckoff accumulation is reaccumulation is that little thing where they flush out the market, and it's called a spring, right? And that's where they do exactly what has happened to us here now. Looking at Wyckoff accumulation, yeah, they did good. They would have think this might be their spring, but they're just laying the trap. I do like that yellow trend line that we drew here, not this one, but this one here. I mean, that shows an intersection. That alone with trend line strategy tells you, well, something's probably going to happen here. So with Wyckoff, if it's a spring, okay, we won't roll over here and just keep going down. We'll come back in here. And whether you want to look at that as a swing failure pattern, trading a channel, which is kind of just Wyckoff simplified, that's how I look at it, that usually leads to a big, strong move. And we could see something like this again if we clear some levels around 91,000. I'd like to see 90,000, 91,000. And we're at 88,900. We touched 89,000. It is 89,000 on some exchanges I'm seeing. And that scenario could definitely happen. So we got people, and just like 4 years ago, confused at this point. Someone mentioned Crypto Savvy, and I used to watch him a lot, and he was really good. Then he went perma-bear, and when he went perma-bear, it's like something changed. It's like you could see the bias, and he was always bearish the whole way up. And some people would accuse him, oh, he missed his buy for Bitcoin or something like that. I don't know. He was, but before then, I mean, he was a really good analyst, and he's what led me to Thomas Bukowski. Someone asked the question, he happened to mention Wyckoff and Thomas Bukowski, and I was like, Google, I'm buying that book. And and we started our Bukowski journey just from that, and that's been life-changing for me. So I got to give him props for that. So what do you guys think? Do you think we're going up, we're going down? And there's still other things. I mean, we're still looking at other areas. If you zoom out, and that's what I think we should do here. Is this a clean chart? This is probably a pretty clean chart. This is one of my paper Bitcoin buys down here at our last little Wyckoff reaccumulation event with the spring. Look what they did here. Look what they came down. I mean, they came down several times. A lot of people remarked that this feels just like back then, and our portfolios, some of my altcoin portfolios are acting like it's back then. They suck. But that's one trend line idea. Now that's not our major trend line, so we can't, but for here it's holding, right? For here it's holding. Let's zoom out. Let's not just assume that that's what we're looking at, okay? Let's look at all the angles here. Let's play all the things. Should I go to a different chart? Oh, here's one. This is fairly clean. Except for all this stuff over here. Oh! I'll not muck up that one. Alright, I guess we're going to use this little guy. This is KuCoin daily chart. And this is us. This is our big move. Now I'd like to take a little minute just to go over some Fibonacci theory. And if we do a Fibonacci pull from the bottom to the topsies to that from 15.6, yeah, around here, that 15.5 area up here to 110,000. Man, that's a nice run up. In retrospect, now playing that was scary as hell. It had moments just like now, the whole time. Oh no, just like God, this is over. One thing that I see here that I do like is this nice parabolic curve. That's a healthy, good sign of a healthy market. Now, if we take this level by level, well, let me do my fibs here first. The first place that we're bouncing off here is a 236 fib. Can that hold? It's been holding for a while. I'd love to see it hold. Does it always hold? No, it does not always hold. There is a chance that we could come back to the 382, and that would be an excellent place to bounce. Can't believe these are coming. These words are coming out of my mouth right now. But by Fibonacci standards, it is. It is. Now, do we necessarily have to come back here? No, not necessarily. We could be playing off some smaller moves here, and maybe it will respect that, because a bounce off this 236 would be a crazy run. We're talking about a measured move that would. Do you want to see it? They'll call me a moon boy if I put it up there.
Now I'm riding crypto waves like I'm rocking on a tune.
That would suggest that we would hit a target of 184,000. Sounds impossible right now. We're at 88,000. Another whole 80,000. That's just what it says. If we get a bounce here, if we get a bounce down here, if we have to come down here, we might be looking at this area right here, about 168. Might go higher after that, I don't know, but that's usually where you get a steeper return if that plays out, that kind of scenario plays out. Hey, can I copy this? Oh, what did I do? That wasn't supposed to happen. I was trying to do the open ender. Seeing if we got any. What's that? That's interesting. Anyway. So and you are getting a lot of calls down to 74,000, and that would also retest this horizontal support here. Okay, it definitely could. Will it? I don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows, but we'd watch for the signs. If it did come back down here, though, man, I mean, my biggest concern as a pattern trader that kind of values things like angles. That's not the angle I'm looking for, though. And I think I'm going to take Joe's advice here. Joe, trade intuition, and use the ray to draw my lines here. I can get several different versions on this depending on what time frame that I'm using, and I kind of like to go with the weekly because that's strong. The weekly is strong, and this is probably a time when we need to look at some strength here. And we'll go from this top candle here, body, lay that right on top of this line here. Oops, I need to turn on the old magnet. Where'd the magnet go? This one? I'm not a big fan of that magnet tool. All right, so we got that, and I also want to do the wicks. I'm not convinced that magnet thingy working right.
Never lie. Truth in numbers can't deny. Moon's our limit, touch the sky. Hold the line, we surf through the swells.
The only thing about doing it back here, this is our fulcrum here on this. If you want to look at the lever, the angles with the angles and everything. Any movement, I mean, it can skew it. It can skew it a lot because if we have more touches in between, we'd have something to lay it on top of. But we're just going to do this and see what that projection gives us. Right? Where does that take us? Right where we are right now. Now, some might call them spider lines. You do the spider lines the same way. You're just doing it in other places, but you're just getting a trend line there. And I look for the angles, and you see how that angle lines up really just beautifully here. And maybe that's not convincing enough for you, and you're like, "Oh, I need something more." Well, we just kind of move it around to next row of candle bodies and see what happens. It becomes resistance here. Support here, resistance here, support here, and so it seems to be holding up. Probably the most convincing place would be somewhere over here, where it touches bottom here, touches bottom there, touches bottom here. That one, which one were you? You were the wicks. So we'll put this one on the back burner here. That one seems to be having a lot of hold there. And basically what that does is it lays out a channel idea, not just here, but also this whole channel. This is really the thought that I'm looking at. Now, my concern is that And what I don't like is that, I mean, this was our pattern. If you zoom out, this is the pattern. Clearly, you're in a channel, and this is your midline of that channel. And here's where we broke out, retested that midline, and then we came up here. But now if you're going with pattern strategy, this is a warning sign here. We weakened it. All these wicks through here weakened that, but it's a fuzzy line. It's still even a fuzzy line. As with the way I've got it, there's still more error for it. It's a bigger zone here than what we can actually see, just because of the angles and how far. And there's no other touches to lay it on in between here. So that's a little fuzzy. But what my concern is, if we break back into a pattern, that means that this is a swing failure pattern or a bull trap. That would be a horrible situation, and that would immediately put us back down to these areas now. And put us to want to go back down to these areas. Unless, my friend, they're just effing with us, which they do at this time in the market. They do. Getting everybody scared, and then going to zoom back up. And there we go back into our Wyckoff reaccumulation theory. That we do this stuff and flush people out on the way up before we go up to that bigger target, which, as we saw, could be as high as 184,000 if things keep playing out. Now, also with this idea, I don't want to exclude any other ideas, but if you want to take a measured move for this whole channel and put it at the breakout, it's suggesting that we would have a target somewhere around 155. Just want to throw that out there. I think I got to put a note up here. I'll forget what I had. That's not you, dude. It's a channel measurement. Well, that's all fine and dandy for speculating on what we might do, but what we're going to do, I think this curve says a lot right there. Now, Bitcoin being the strongest asset, the apex predator asset, according to Michael Saylor, God bless Michael Saylor, that made this 3.4 Bitcoin purchase back here on the paper trading account, up $209,000. Gosh, should have done that with my real account and left them altcoins alone because they have not paid off. They slacking, baby. Other signs I see here, I've got the Ichimoku cloud up. I like that. That looks good. That looks just fine, but it still doesn't mean we can come back down to $75 or 75,000. That scenario is real, but it takes away a lot of the strength of this move. It happens. In one sense. However, Fibonacci sense, I mean, we could recover, but you know, that kind of would put us outside of our 4-year cycle. Time-wise, in my personal opinion, for that to happen, that would take that would add on months and months and months, and then by the time that, and I don't know, maybe you know, things could be changing. I don't know. We always got to keep an open mind about that, but I always like to look at the lines on the charts because they just kind of give me the boundaries to look for to start thinking those things more serious. And right now, it's not time to really consider that. Not seriously, but do for you know, just a backup plan to think of these ideas. There is also the idea that we had a breakout here, this channel or wedge or however you want to look at it, we can come back and retest that breakout area. That's at 68. Man, these numbers are going to piss some people off. They're going to log off my stream. They piss me off. I'd be nervous as hell if I heard that right now. I don't like it, but I mean, we're just looking, we're just zooming now, we're speculating right now, trying to see what's happening here. But we're talking about how this could be a fake out. The things that we would need to see is that candle. We need a candle. We need to get them back above 94, 95,000. Get back up above here. Start closing some candles above 90,000 would be great. We still got all that buy pressure, and it appears that as this price is being drugged down, people are buying. And a lot of people that were watching it over here in 110,000 say, man, 88,000 looks like a good deal. It's under 100,000. We know it's going to go over 100,000. It's about a almost 20% discount right now. What the hell? Let's nibble. Let's get some. And that's what creates these wicks. And That and the shady people driving this market down so they can steal it off of you and buy it cheaper. There's a mixed bag of stuff going on there. But if I had to look at weekly analysis, that's what I would look at. And I'd also look at these moving averages. Now, moving averages, we're still healthy. We lost the 9, so everything's not exactly fine. But we're hanging around that 21. That's the next little rung in our ladder here. And so far, now this is high Kanashi candles. They're a little bit different, but they're telling me that our candle body close area here, where the most of the stuff is still up above there. Let's turn on the regular candles, and they just look horrible. Like, oh no, we're losing it. But this one takes more of an average. This one kind of smooths out the stuff. And pattern traders, oh man, I think it helps you be a better pattern trader, or it helps you see the trends a little bit better. That's what it's supposed to do, high Kanashi candles. So it's okay. We can wick through here. This could be a weird little area, and we can still recover. We can still get back above our 9 moving average and be in longer happy little way. We just came back, talked to the 21, said, hey, just checking in on you, making sure everything's okay. Haven't really talked to you since back here at 62,000. You doing okay? And then we was okay. Well, I'll see you in a few weeks. You know, we'll go up and check back with them in a few weeks. It's when we come down to this 50 moving average. That's a deeper retracement. Now they take a little bit more time to recover from. That's why I'm thinking. That'll throw a kink in our 4-year cycle plan here if it's going to be true to the 4-year cycle. So there's still a hope, in my personal opinion, that we can hold these areas and not come down to C here, because that would not only freak a lot of people out with Bitcoin, and it would decimate the altcoins, most of the altcoins, because they have just been hit hard. And I'm looking over before the show over here at Tokenmetrics, trying to see, well, what's hot? What are people kind of trading and chasing right now? Still meme coins, believe it or not. A lot of them are still meme coins. Collateralized media? I don't know. Collateralized listed? I don't even know what that is. Meme bets, Doge AI. Liquid Alchemy or Alchemist. There are some things that are not meme coins, but more of them look like they are. Bertram's, Sentai, AGI, XT, Captain. Oh, this is Captain B&B listed on. I mean, this is where people they're putting their money in right now. And they're making gains, 50, 60, 70, gains right now. It's crazy. I flipped over to the investor just to see the gainers and the investors, and it's just a lot of the same coins there. It's just kind of, these are the ones that are trending right now. Sonic, Maker, Hyperliquid, Aave, Ondo. Those are good picks. SWI, Radium might be a mixed bag there. XRP, AIOZ, Solana. That's what's trending, and those are the stronger ones. Those are the ones that are on some steep discounts right now. A lot of them. Aave, definitely love that one. I like that one. That one can do some good. BitTensor Tau is under $400. It's at $380 right now. But here on the hour, we see that people are starting to get back into the altcoins a little bit. Just on the hour alone, another bump up. On the daily, Bitcoin, or the most of them are coming up about 2, 3, 4%. So people are starting to step out there and say, oh, they are the GC. I'm going to take a gamble. I'm going to nibble in some, or I'm going to start building the bag here, or I'm going to DCA. DCA is a great strategy on projects that you like right now, even on Bitcoin. I can't tell you right now how much that I'm turning my focus more to Bitcoin. It has been the leader in everything. And here at 88,000, I mean, I ain't going all in. I cannot go all in. But I'm nibbling away at this little sucker, layering in as best as I can, even if she wants to come down here to 74,000. If that scenario, I've got to make sure that my scenario will let me still keep buying down here and not get me where I'm, oh my God, I'm on the edge of getting liquidated. And don't ever want to be in any kind of situation like that. I've had to lighten up some spot margin plays over here. But what it has done is saved my head. So I don't have that psychology, that fear. At some point, man, I mean, your emotions. I mean, at first it's just emotions, like voices in your head, right? and you got your fear, your uncertainty, and doubt. But at some point, these numbers start coming real to you, and you're like, you start seeing liquidation scenarios and things like that. And it's not just a voice in your head. Then it becomes like, oh man, my body is reacting. That's not any place that we should ever allow ourselves to get to here. And that you need to take a hard look at yourself if you're in those situations. Because that you don't put your mental health or your physical health at risk on this. You know, that's not worth the money. Not worth the money. One of my mentors made millions in the market and through his trading group too. And sadly enough, he's not around anymore to enjoy any of that. I don't know how I'm tying that in here, but you know, I don't know the market. Anyway, life is short, and you don't need to make it shorter going crazy with cryptocurrency, because whales are trying to, or not the whales, but the big money trying to flush you out. We got Citadel in this game now. Don't know if you know that, but there's some dirty bastards right there, and I wouldn't doubt. I kind of lean with George from Cryptos R Us. He made a video about that. They got their fingers in this pie. They're definitely buying up now. They're a big ass market maker. You thought that our crypto market makers could be crooked? Oh my God! Watch me get a lawsuit from Citadel. I'm not saying this is just what has been opined and alleged. But it's enough allegedness to make me think twice, and not doubt that the big players in the cycle where Bitcoin is getting global adoption, it would be silly to think that the big players aren't going to pull every dirty trick that they have to do all the flush outs. But yeah, I want to remind you, it's just a 20% flush out. It's just 20%. It's just 20%. Down to 74 would be 32%. Now here's where we got to be real with ourselves. Because this flush out back here in January 4 years ago, when we reached our high, it flushed us out over those next weeks in January, 31%. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes, and that's a little before where we are now. And by this time, we would have recovered. And so it's easy to see how people, and me included, comparing this to then, and by this time, yeah, we should have been on the way up. February, March, good months, but let's do keep that in mind, and so we can keep our bearings. 21%, 32%. So if we were to hit somewhere around 76, 70 something thousand, or hit that 382, it's still within the realms of possibilities that were good, and we would just bounce right back up from it, and then the big move would happen. So we got those two scenarios to look at, in my personal opinion. A lot of people are calling for those lower areas, and it's on the table. It is on the table. There's also some other ideas on the table too, because I don't put as much. I like the parabolic move. I mean, you can't. It's a very speculative line, because I can make that line conform to anything. I drew it just out straight, and that's the only way that I want to drew them. So this is how it naturally forms, and that's what I watch. But still, in any candle, if we lose this area, this 87, what is this? I'm talking about closing candle bodies or seeing a candle body open. If we're not bouncing back, if we actually do, open up a new candle below this, and then we are probably coming down here. It may be a fast move. It may be a wick down here, and then a slow recovery. We'd have to do some kind of bottom thing and probably have to test it another time. It's just what normally would happen. Or could we do, some people would think we were doing a slow burn down there, kind of like what we did down here. The slow burn down there, it worked here in the summer, but this is not the time for that to happen here. And I dare say that since Bitcoin has shown that it can get over 100,000, that people don't doubt that it will do it again. So I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you think we're going to the 74,000? Do you think we might bounce here at this this area that we're at now. It really all depends on the charts, in my personal opinion, and those levels. The Fibonacci, even the moving average is there. They're saying the same things, hitting the same levels. Saying the same strategies tell us, man, we lose this level, we're coming down here. But if we hold this level, we can recover. And so we are at a point of limbo for Bitcoin right now. And all we can do is come down. That was the weekly. We come down to smaller time frames and see how we're reacting here. And here on the daily, the 200 moving average is about 81. I think I've heard some people calling for 81. Now, that would be a good reason why they would be looking at that. But if we do that, then we break some local areas. And that's why I'm paying attention to the local trend lines too. That's what we're holding right now. So to me, that's our clue. This latest little trend line here, it doesn't really fit in our big picture for the bigger trend line moves, right? The one that does incorporate this move, even Trendline Strategy says, hey man, we could be coming back down to 70-something thousand. We got to be real. We got to be real with ourselves. So best thing is to, and according to that, if this was our channel, well, we bear trapped and got back into it. Where's your middle line? Midline should be about like here, and that's coming above that 200. And so, I mean, we got areas that can catch us all the way down here, I believe, even though when you look at the price action, I mean, a lot of people want to say, and there is something to that, where that was a strong move up, it can be a quick move down, and that's true as well. But there are several different angles that we might be able to catch, but they keep that in mind too. What goes up can come down just as quick. So we should be seeing this over the next few days. What's going on? We've got here on the daily a 50 moving average just hanging, surfing right above that 100, just refusing to cross. And sometimes they can hold out, and that can be what pulls us back up. Sometimes they just give in and they cross anyway, and that just confirms more downside for us. Coming to the 4 hour here on Bitcoin. Here's where we start seeing a little bit of hope on these areas. Here's where we start seeing the hope that maybe this area can hold, or technically it is holding right now. Can it stay there? So smaller time frames, or what's happening on the smaller one, will help us navigate this, in my personal opinion. So what has been happening with Bitcoin lately, especially with her little Fibonacci's, is that she's not made it past those areas. And we were watching these areas up here and pulling fibs on all this stuff, and you get this one right here, right? And when they can't get up above that 0.5 area, struggle with the 0.5 or even the 0.38, that's the first sign you got. They're going to be a rollover. Now it can either roll over and do a higher low, or a double bottom here, or the worst scenario is to open up this area down here for business. And so those are the warning signs I'm looking for when it comes to fibs. So that's why it's important for me to pull a fib from this high to this low, and we got to measure it, we got to gauge it, and this is what I do. First area we've got to get above is right here. That 89,200. Now last night it was 90,000. Today that number is 89. This guy is our 50 moving average, and I'd be honored if we could go back up there and touch that at 92.8. And you may hear everybody say, oh, we're good, it was just a Wyckoff spring, we're ready to rock and roll. And we could be, or it could be a rollover. And with market makers tricks and everything like that, I would not doubt. We could maybe even go as high as the 618. Now getting off the 618 would make me think we would have a better chance of making a higher low, and that would be a hopeful situation. That would be cool to see right now. Either that, or we just make a V-shaped recovery. That would even be even better than you say, oh, you faked us out, you bastards. But it coming back down and doing that's a bullish scenario right here. Come back and reconfirm this area, this 236. Fibonacci area. But what we don't want to see, and what could still happen, and what what a lot of people are fearful for, would be when we come up here and then we roll over and go for the lower areas, and that's where we start getting into these guys down here. And it could be, even the fibs are pointing this out, 82,000, 80,000, 77,000. And that's just based on this move here. That's where we're getting all this data. So what will she do? Roll over? We don't know. We don't know. But what we do know, if she can support this line, make a higher low here, man, that's a bitchin' place to bounce from. It keeps us in, or puts us back into those areas where this is more of a fake out, and we're respecting the top of the channel. Remember the top of the channel? Respecting the breakout here and the channel, and then move up there. For the 4-year cycle and how Bitcoin normally plays out, I mean, this makes sense. However, that 31% correction also makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the timing, because, man, at this point in quarter one, we should be doing all right, and we're not. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat before we go to the news and start getting into the everything. 29 people hanging out with me. I think I'm through talking about Bitcoin. Let me see what you guys have been saying. I get lost in those charts everywhere. Oh, I saw a super chat there. Let's go see what we got here. Maddie goes, oh my God, goodness, $20 super chat. Thank you, my man. That's a sturdy and edge, which is more bullish. We'll take a look at that. Sturdy and edge. That will get the first picks right there, my man. Let me just say hello to everyone real quick. If I can get my... Are you up here? Feel like I'm missing somebody. I am. I'm missing some chat up here. Well, how does that happen? I see Floki's Angels, and I think Chris Klein was here first, I think. It's not showing me on here anymore. We got Chris Klein, we got Road Glide, MG Motorsport, Jason, who had a request, and I got you, Jason. We'll take a look at Moonding for you. I got you. As long as I don't get squirrel brained and forget. But I got you written down. Jim Derringer, Jay Valley. Good to see you, Jay Valley. I saw you in some chats earlier today. I saw several of you guys in chats, like Freaky Candles. I was over there a little bit. We got Road Glide. There's Floki's Angels, man. I'm so glad to have you guys. There's Joe from Trade Intuition. How's it going, Joe? So him over there too. Baba Yaz. Scuba Gerbil, hey, how's it going? Glad to have you here, man. And I think I about caught everybody there. I haven't went and read everything, so forgive me for that. I'm just trying to save some time because there's 48 minutes in already from introduction to now. Keith and Chief, what's up? Good to see you. Celinda, how's it going, Celinda? Fill the CM gap at 93, then down to 77 to fill the other one before next leg up. It could. That's another argument to be made right there, the CME gap. Road Dog, make a poll to see. Start a poll. I think it's somewhere around 77K area on average that people are looking at. I forgot what the fibs were saying. Was it 77? 74, what the fibs actually had. We'll just leave it about the 77. It'll fall into that little parameter there. Let's see what we think here. So, 88K area. 77K area. I think that's it. I don't want to add an option. I just want to let's send the poll out and see what we got. I'm on top chat too. What? I thought we had that. Maybe it changed on me, I think. Jesse Gullick, hey, how's it going? Scuba, I'm sleepy for sure. Oh, late at night here. All right, so we got the poll out. What I'd like to do quickly is go over and check out the news with Layer GG, and then come back and then start hitting some charts. We'll check out the super chats. I've got a coin that it looked like it actually had a good setup earlier, and I meant to post it in the trading group. I never got back over here to look at it. It's one that I'm actually in. But it was okay. It looked bullish for some reason. And then I'll also take a look at Mundi, and then we'll start getting into some other stuff here. We still got to take a look at Total 3, which right now is looking a little bullish, like she's trying to do. She bounced off her area here and trying to go up, but we'll get into that. Let's go to Layer GG and get the news out of the way. Hey, Sean, there's the button. Hit it. Here we go. Well, that almost worked today. If only there were news on the screen that we could read, Sean. I'm just saying. I mean, that's usually how this works. There it is. Wow. You must have your mic off, Sean. So what's happened in the last 12 hours in crypto that maybe won't freak us out too much? The U.S. and Ukraine have agreed to terms on a deal over natural resources and reconstruction, according to a Ukrainian official. This is expected to accelerate the end of the Russian-Ukraine war, and that's always welcome news. As the crypto market has dropped, the Bitcoin spot ETF saw the largest outflows of $773.5 million on the day, with IBIT and ARK-B not yet counted, but the remaining blah, 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 other tickers alone. That sentence made no sense to me at the end there. Solana's SIMD-0228 proposal, which aims to reduce unnecessary issuance by shifting SOL emissions from a fixed schedule to a market-driven model, is currently under discussion. Things you nerds talk about. I know it's important though. Binance announced the Redstone DeFi launch pool, which will launch on Fed 26, not February 26, but Fed 26. That'd be tomorrow. Pre-market is scheduled to list on February 28. Binance has announced support for the rebranding from BNX to Form. BNX will suspend trading on March 18th and relist as Form. Binance, she's got a lot of stuff going on over there while you're selling all this stuff off. After an emergency proposal on the MakerDAO that dramatically increased both the amount to lend Maker and the loan to value, Maker continues to rise. Maker is a good one. It's just slow but steady, but she makes gains. I wouldn't. For the more conservative investor out there, you know, just kind of, you know, a little place to kind of stash some makers, and I wanted to think about. The SEC has acknowledged the Grayscale's proposal to permit staking on Ethereum spot ETF. If approved, ETF would be able to generate additional returns on its ETH holdings, which could then be passed on to investors. In April of last year, Uniswap Labs announced that the SEC had issued a Wells notice against Uniswap Labs, but that investigation was officially closed. Uniswap starts doing the profit sharing like they were going to, distributing to Uniswap holders. That coin's going to rock, and so will a lot of others that will open the doors. That's where I hope that they're going. That's what their original plan was. And hopefully they get that cleared and regulation around that cleared up. And that's how crypto is supposed to work, or was going to work, is the SEC that kept it from doing that. Then everybody started getting in the meme coins. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index has fallen to 21, the lowest since September 2024, and the market is still in a state of extreme fear. Ohio's Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Bill has passed committee review and is one step closer to approval. And that's our news for today from Layer GG. Watching the Bitcoin flow. My. Sean, let's get back to the chart rear. Sean, wake up, Sean. Jeez.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you very much.
31 people hanging out. How's it going, everybody? Let's check our poll out. Come here, poll. Will 88,000 hold, or will we see the $75,000 area? 60-40 split right there. You know, a lot of other people were also calling for that 75,000 too. I saw that on breaking channels and a lot of that. Now, one curious thing to say is what the majority of the people expect to happen. Sometimes it doesn't happen. We were also expecting that at the a lot of people calling for that. even an analyst that made me have to kind of wonder, because he was a GAN trader, or a GAN analyst. So I kind of my ears perk up when they talk, but that was wrong. They was calling for 77,000 by the end of, I think it was the end of January. It was whenever we had our big wicks down here. I think it was here. I think it was here, or maybe no, it wasn't. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was the end of January. I think it was right here. But that didn't happen, and a lot of people were thinking that we were jumping down there too, but we didn't. They faked us out. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to claim to know. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the future, except maybe WD Gann himself would have a good idea, but he's dead, and so he can't tell us, and he took his secrets to the grave. As far as we know. I found that interesting with that angle to that channel body and support. And again, I just want to reiterate, we were bouncing here now, seems to be. We do have a lot of work to go. If it does anything, I think we might come up, and then we'll have to see. Either we find support, make a double bottom of some sorts, we need some kind of bottoming or leveling out here, or we do have a chance to roll over. But losing these areas strongly, candles closing below 80, 86 and things like that, that would be the signs. But right now we got green candles, and I'm so happy, and we got wicks of buying. So far it's been enough for people to say, hey man, 88 looks like a good place to buy. And I've been nibbling, but I'm saving dry powder. That's the only sucky thing about not knowing what's going to happen, man. Because you got to plan for the bigger drop, and that's another 10% or 15%. Oh my God, to get down to that. And so if you deploy now, you just sit here and you have to go through all of it. No. And if it doesn't come down here and then we start going up, I mean, by the time that some people get their confirmations, well, I mean, they're buying right back at 95,000 again. But for, these are all still, some people look at that, oh, you bought too high, but no, they're just waiting for confirmation so they don't have to ride any downtrend. There's so many different ways to play this, and just depending on your risk level and what you're willing to take. But for somebody like me that likes to buy at these discount prices, I have to put a damper on it, because if I buy too much and we do roll over, then I got to worry with all that crap again. But altcoins, let's take a look at Total 3 real quick. Also finding some support here. Nice. Let's see, we had a blue line. That's usually a measured move. We channel idea, taking this angle and applying it down here as best we could, but we found some areas here of support. Let's I can't remember the measurement, but I keep it there. This should be a 0.5 Fibonacci that we're reclaiming right here. Well, you got your Fibonacci's up, I guess yeah. And let's do a little analysis here on the total, because this is our altcoins and everything, and this will help us kind of. Let's see that we're in a channel idea, faked out, triple top. That is a triple top pattern, and they're nasty. They are nasty. Have we got the brunt of it? We may have. I hope so. You could be arguing that, well, now we're starting to form some kind of other channel or wedge. Oh, that's an interesting idea. So what is this? This is what, 854 billion? That's just about 25 billion more in here. So resistance ahead, we can definitely see that, either by that or even just doing your little horizontals. We'll give you those areas as resistance. But a bounce is better than watching bags bleed, so I'm okay with that. We also got respect for a trend line, believe it or not. We came down here at the corner and then carried up to this little guy and extended on, and you can see that now, well, we got a trend line there. If it was me, I'd follow that little guy and see what he does, and here we go. Let's move him up and see where, oh, that's nice. That is actually really nice. I'm sure my angle's off just a little bit, but we got the wick down for for support, and then this went up, that wick up for resistance. So where these are like just mid-channel lines. I mean, your bigger channel is, I mean, couldn't even be all the way up here. But we won't get all that antsy. We'll just look at what we got to work with right here. So maybe 100 moving average is also hanging up there. So there could be a nice little recovery here, or I wouldn't say it's not total recovery. We could still roll over, but it looks like we could have a few. We're on the 4 hours. Might have another day or so. Altcoins coming back. Some of them are starting to move, but they may roll over. You know, and either find a bottom or break this channel. We don't know just yet. But right now we're starting to see some action happen, and might get some relief. Let me see if I can just close that poll there. Okay. Ryan K says what we are not seeing is that the big players are seeing, and they are buying and stashing. They are. Are we just looking too short term while the big boys are seeing the long game? Spot wise for Bitcoin, I'm saying you need to be DCing like crap, like crazy over. Even if we go down to, even if we do go down to 75,000, if you got spot and collect all the Bitcoin you can as cheap as it gets, it's a gift under 100,000. Get that in your head. That needs to be your mantra. It's a gift under 100,000. It's a bigger gift under 90,000. And even just buying it all the way down, I'm wanting to get as much Bitcoin as I can and make up for what I've lost on altcoins, because they've soaked up a lot of my Bitcoin playing them. They piss me off. That's where we get into this Bitcoin dominance chart that we like to look at here. And this is kind of cool. Look at that. 4 hour Bitcoin dominance that's helping out our altcoins right here. That's cool. Bitcoin dominance has been she's been hard to read. We know as Bitcoin dominance is going up, means all the attention, all the money's flowing into Bitcoin more than altcoins. They're getting neglected. They're on the back burner, and various ones of them will do well, but basically they just kind of oscillate against. They're either going to oscillate against Bitcoin and go up, or they're just going to lose against Bitcoin. And that's why it's so important to chart against the Bitcoin, in my personal opinion, so you can see if you're in, are you in a market phase on it? There might be a play there short term or something to grow your Bitcoin or gain where it's actually gaining value over Bitcoin. Or otherwise, you might as well just be in Bitcoin because it's going to outperform. And I gotta say, the majority of the altcoins I've got, other than a rare few, Bitcoin has been outperforming them. There's one that I wanted to take a look at. But before I do, let me go ahead and get the super chats out of the way. We have super chat for Sturdy, and I want to go ahead and take a look at that. This is I got that right, didn't I? Scroll back. STRDY. And I guess I got to go over here to the deck screener. We looked at this before. Sturdy token against Ethereum here. It looks like it's also on base too. Now is it? I guess we'll go with this one. Let me scroll my chat there. All right, so let's take a look at this. This is the daily on Sturdy. That's that. Higher highs and higher lows. That's what you want to see. Oh, snap. I think we got something here. So I will do that. I will continue you on. She got rejected off the 618. Double bottom. Retest of a double bottom scenario here. 26 people. How's it going? Looks to me like she's starting a new wave to the upside. I like that so far. She catches support here. Maintain that 155. That looks interesting to me. It looks like she might have it. This is her 618, so coming back up to retest that 271. That would be another place to try, and it may be making. It may mimic an inverted head and shoulders type thing and find some resistance here. I didn't pipe that one in. Maybe I should have. This was the 236. I just drew a line there. Looks like you might have lost a little bit of a trend line here right now. Let's go to the smaller time frame. And she's she's trying to break back into it, maybe? That would be bullish. She's finding resistance now, so that's going to be the tricky thing. If she can get above that, that could be that could be your nice move to come back up here to that 267 area. So I would be looking at that. Let's see if we got any little wiggle room there. Otherwise, she would be coming down here. If not, getting rejected and coming back to lower areas. Have you done here? But then you caught. It's possible she's doing another type of double bottom here, and she's trying to get back in there. She does. That's bullish. And I would. I mean, throw another local target in here. So 241, I can see that, and 267, I can see that area as being a possible target if we can get above this trend line. Otherwise, we'd be looking at where are we at? I never can find those little guys. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, you're in danger coming back to 106. But that should probably hold even if it does come through here. If it does come down through here. So I think that looks interesting. Let's take a look at Edge. I should probably post this one. Let's take that and put it over into the trading group. Trade setups. STRDY. I believe it's a 4-hour chart. All right, we got that one over there. Let's take a look now at Edge. That wasn't the right thing. What did I do? Did the wrong thing. Edge is there's one on Solana. I got a feeling that's probably not it, or if it is, we'll go with this one on Uniswap here. That's version 3. Zoom out to the daily. Oh wow, look at you. Seems to just make higher highs and higher lows, basically. Kind of rangy, noisy, but she had her nice little parabolic move going up, and I mean, the drop on this wasn't that bad, was it? How bad was that? Well, yeah, it was. It's the same as everything else. It's a 20% drop. Doesn't look like it would be, but it dropped from 140 to what, 111. But we're talking about, it was down at like a nickel. and now you're 120. That's I didn't know anything. I didn't get it on this one. I'm envious. That was some good money made on that one, catching this one. Shout out to you, my man. I don't know when you got in or anything, but you're definitely looking at projects that are interesting. I'm always going to look for this channel idea. I just am. I think this is the bulk of it. However, some people will be looking at this, and you know, you'll get the idea of ascending triangle, and you do have the resistance over here. So some people will look at it like that. I always throw them on the channel, because when you break out of that, well, that's where you go, is to the top of the range of that angle. We'll lay that idea out there too. I got this as just a midline because there'll be a hiccup there, but I think I'd rather just trust the fibs. I don't have my extensions on here. I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Crashing lows, soaring peaks, rebel yells. Through the turbulence, managed so well. Crypto sunrise, story we tell. Charts go wild, screens electric. Riding out, resilient and hectic.
Now, most people, when they do this, depending on who you watch, if you're playing this like a triangle pattern, ascending triangle, you would wait for the breakout, wherever the breakout might be, and then take the measure move, and it would suggest that you go to 245. However, that breaks out of this channel, and that might happen if it decides to go parabolic, so I'm not going to say it can't, but I just like to remind people, oh, you guys still got a channel, and you're going to have some resistance at the top of that channel. And a lot of traders don't really look at channel ideas. They miss that, and that's why I started using channels, because I was like, why my measured move's not hitting? My measured move's not hitting. Why? Why is it stopping short? Well, there's resistance there for this imaginary line in this imaginary channel that we're in that seems to be real when you just walk into the glass wall. Best way I can explain it. That was the wrong line color to change right there. I was supposed to go purple. We'll go blue here. Why didn't you just put it in a flag to the upside? That's basically what you did. You should have just come. I could have just come on here and call everything a flag to the upside. We could just blaze right through these charts, flag to the upside. But I like to get targets that actually, have a good chance of hitting. Going on to the measurement, you might see some people, and then I don't know why. I think I know what they're trying to do. Maybe they got a short cliff note version of it that's just not quite right. But you'll see them take those measure moves, but we're not. So that's what I can see. It's at 220 right now, and that would be kind of cool. It could go somewhere around 50 to 105% gains. Don't know when it will get up there. She might have to do this for a while. This is a daily chart. Let's come down to the 4 hours to see what she's looking like. 4 hour, just judging the health. It looks like we had our 5 ways up, and we're doing our ABC down now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, A, B, C. This could be your, depends on how you want to look at that. I think this is the C. Some might say that this could be the B and then the C. We don't have an Elliott indicator over here to turn on to get a second opinion, but my personal opinion, I think it's already the C. And we can see if our angles line up here, and if they do, it's probably a good chance that she's good. And so far, so good for angle. Same idea there. See if the angles are respected, and I see some respect for that. And my angle may not be perfect there, but I see some respect going on here. So therefore, we know that if we do bounce up, we can get some resistance about 161. We can look for some smaller term targets, but I think the 181 is one of the best ones. But let's see if I got my fib set up here to do this. Oh, I do. I think you got a good chance of your next higher high being 152. It looks like she's just gradually inching up, just a little at a time, and I think that might be your next one there. So I'll take this. We got 3 little targets, a little tiny short-term target from here, where we are, to get to that higher high would be 31% gain, so 27% gains. Not nothing to sneeze at. And then some bigger targets there to go with too. Let's take a picture of this one. This is Edge on 4 hour. And really, should get that contract address. Contract address, where are you? Right here. All right, and so there we go. Thank you, my man, for the super chat. I appreciate that again. And earlier at the beginning, Jason was requested Moonding. Let's look at Moonding. And said I think he had to work or something, but had to catch the stream later. So let me get that out of the way for you. Appreciate you, Jason. Moonding, we'll take a look at. Hey, CoinEx has got it. I think I've only got it on CoinEx there. KuCoin's got it too. Oh, she's down. She's down. She's down. Well, what goes up comes all the way down. I'd say a lot of meme coins are looking like this, and a lot of altcoins looking like this. It's, if you want to try to play it again, that is up to you. But this is a perfect place to to take a chance on it. If it's got good community, a meme coin, I mean, if it's got a community behind it and something, then it's got a chance, right? But it's not like it's one of the random meme coins being printed every 20 seconds that people start piling into and losing their ass over, just gambling and anything. And though some will consider this gambling as meme coins, if you're trading, I mean, it's got a good possible setup to make some more gains. And me as a position trader, this is what I look for when I'm position trading. This is where you want to accumulate a nice little bag on the cheap. It's 6 cents, and she's been up to high 65. Once we get past this little storm that we're in crypto, I mean, meme coins are not going to go away, especially ones that have a proven record behind them. And this spells out beautifully the retest area right up here at 19 cents. So that's the first one. That's the first target to get to, and from where we are to get there, you got a 3x, 222%. It's making me want to top off my Moonding bags. I think if I still got them over there. I don't know if I got any dry powder over on that little wallet or not. It looks like a good setup, and here on the daily, what I would want to see, what I would need to see, is a cross of that 9 over the 21, just to confirm that, hey man, we're probably trying to get out of the ranging here. But DCAing in through here, I mean, you got down to 5 cents, 6 cents, up high is 7, 8 cents right there. That cloud is thick and juicy and just wants us to go right into it. Now that's happening somewhere around, I mean, if we just kind of project and figure bouncy, whatever, when we can actually start touching and getting to the cloud somewhere around mid-March, just a few weeks away. That actually gives me hope for the whole altcoin market. Believe it or not, just me sitting here looking at this gives me some hope that the altcoins have a chance of freaking recovering. That cloud looks beautiful. It's pointing right up here to top of the clouds, coming in at 18.5 cents, right at the area we need to get up to and touch anyway. We got to come back and retest this area, and that's what we just got to. And so for that reason alone, I think that's a good play if you believe in this coin. Yeah. So Jason, I hope that helps you out. Let me come to a smaller time frame just to give you some more immediate insight. 4 hours when I'd recommend, just to kind of see what's happening here, and she's rounding out. Let me go to this candle body and pull this little guy and see how that kind of looks. Yeah, I'm not crazy about that. She is rounding out. It's just my tool. I could take this and make it fit and say, look, there's our curve. But to me, I'm like, yeah, I can make this thing do lots of things. Doesn't mean the price is going to do what the curve does. It does it. But I like when I play with them, I've had the best results just trying to keep that natural curve and not altering it, even if it cuts through candles and stuff, just to kind of get the little flow. But that's what I see us doing, is just making a nice, maybe a rounded bottom. Rounded bottoms pay the bills, what my mentor used to say. My CBC, Crypto Revolution. The late Crypto Revolution. So, question is, here on the smaller time frame, 4 hour, how we doing? We're stacking up. We made it through our little, this is the juicy area to really get it if you're trying to position trade or build up a bag of this, is anywhere in that 5.7. So if we do get a negative turn, if they drag us down over the weekend or something, well, I don't know what we're going to do. Today is Monday, right? Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, getting on Wednesday. So Wednesday and Thursdays are usually pretty positive days, and that would be a good chance for a recovery. Trying to see that. We saw that they dumped us on Monday with Bitcoin and everything else, and then we were leveling out today, Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, build us up. They may even try to build it. If you see them pumping us on a Friday, well, get ready. They've got plans for you over this weekend, because that's what they did. They like to. It makes no sense to pump a market on a Friday. It makes no sense to pump a market on a Friday. Unless real retail is here, and it's not. Real retail just scared. And as a reminder, you are retail and I am retail too. But yeah, I like what I'm seeing there for a bigger, longer term play there. Let's come back to the chat and see what you guys are talking about. 21 people. I've lost a lot of people. Let's take a look at the poll. 52%. Say we can go to 77, 48, say 88. So kind of balancing out a little bit more there. We'll go ahead and end that poll there so I can see me chats. RS Miller says XRP is the main one I'm watching. Could come down to 177. It might. It very well might. Retail's out buying shoes at the moment, says MG Motorsport. Let me back up here through the chat there. Oh. Let's see. Can we look at Sol and XRP? Probably should take a look at those. We'll look at both of those, Solana and XRP. Solani. Well, I had these target areas here. 133. Wow, you actually hit that? You went down there that low? And I didn't color code them, so I can't remember exactly right off where the hell they came from. I think they were from the bigger move, right? Oh, I see the 2. I didn't color code it. Anyway, they're here because they should be areas where we pivot. The question is, but looking and zooming out, man, we lost. I gotta zoom out. All right, so I've got us in I'm not sold on that channel. Let's clear this out. We've already got bottoms in, or a local bottoms in anyway. Let's see what it spells out here. The reason behind this is because, well, Solana actually hit a pivot point on the bigger scale of things. She hit that 113 area right here. And I think I pointed this out last time too. So no surprise that she would get a steeper pullback. That's just the way the fib game goes. Will she hit 118? My argument that she would be, just looking at the fibs alone, or one argument would be that the last time we were here, she came back, and I guess that was her spring. Well, no, I'll take it back. Oh, well. and then the next time she didn't actually touch it. That might be enough to get. She might just have to come back, solidify this area one more time, or there's the idea that okay, maybe we do just a 886 retracement of this bottom to here, or 786. We did an 886 already, so that part seems to be valid. So we got two scenarios. She's either she will continue down and retest that. Doesn't have to. I mean, this is close enough to be okay. And we could just be looking at for this move, and that was it at 130. Now we'll come down and see what everything else is saying here. Moving averages are saying we need to be coming back up to 184. 100 is still up here. That's still good. When I get the bigger weighted moving averages in their proper order, and that they're still showing some signs of bullishness. Now I know it's curving over, but the position is still strong so far. That can help us move back up here. So again, like we're asking, what a lot of questions are. Well, I can see us getting a bounce on altcoins on several of them that we're looking at. The question is, how far will it go? Will it stick, or will it roll over? So now on this one, since we got an 886 Fibonacci, possible bottom, I feel more comfortable pulling a fib, and then see if we can gauge how you're doing. It's also telling us we got to come here. The fibs nailed it again. Swing high to swing low. Tell me where price is going to go. And even if you're just a horizontal support resistance trader, I mean, this is the area you'd be looking at right here. This 236 Fibonacci. We need to get up there and reclaim that, or else it's going to conquer us and drive us back down for either a higher low or come down lower. We don't know, but that's the first area that we got to get above. So either we come up, get rejected, and range, or you know, double bottom, or we look at lower. And the other indicators will help us kind of navigate that as we go. But mechanical price action, I'm looking for a possibility of getting back up to 170, 169 area. Let's come down to the 4 hour and see if they're thinking about it. It looks like the idea has been tossed around just a little bit here. They're thinking about it, but they got their own little troubles to go through here and pull a fib. And oh well, okay, we're seriously thinking about it. She's getting past her own little 236 area, and so that's a sign of strength. I think I'm pretty much a Fibonacci trader anymore. 618 is pointing out a strong area of resistance coming right under here. Support and resistance traders will be eyeballing this. The only thing is, if you're a support and resistance trader, I would just throw this out. This is one reason why I prefer fibs. This is one reason, because I would be eyeballing this and drawing a line, and I would be trying to take it to areas and lining it up to wherever, you know, my eyeball was telling me. Fibs are mathematical, and that's one reason why I think that UC has come back and go, nailed it, because there's a mathematical proportion thing going on. That's just, well, mine and other people's beliefs, but it doesn't have to be yours. If you're not a fib trader, that's fine, man. I'm cool with it. But they've been highly enlightening and changed my whole strategy and the way I approach this market anymore. They're a fun rabbit hole to go down. So I'm seeing this on the table where we can get back to 162, 170 area. How we do after that, well, I don't know. Now I like to turn to trend lines, because why not? Can't beat a trend line, man. Well, that's one of the best things to have on your charts, a trend line. And how are we going to interpret this channel idea? If so, we're looking for a partial decline. If you're looking at it as a falling wedgie, we got some work to do, because she broke some stuff. Now, normally when a falling wedge breaks to the downside, it's kind of a big, strong move, and we caught support. We caught support at the 886 Fibonacci for the local move, remember? So it might be nice. So we'll put this one on the back burner. Let's see if she can make some grounds and get back up here. See if she can actually get a break out of this falling wedge or falling channel, however you want to do. Most likely, looking at it channel-wise, I would expect something either roll over here, find support, somewhere a partial decline somewhere through this area, meaning we ring to and then break out. That's what happens a lot of times. But this could be your situation too. I do see 162 on the radar. But you come down to the chat. We've been going for an hour and 30 minutes. It just doesn't. I've only wow. The show just gets away from me so fast. Do I talk that much? Because in my real life, I don't talk much. Get me on camera though. Oh, I'm just a little chatty Cathy, I guess. Wow. Never thought I'd say that. People say talking to you like trying to pull teeth. Yeah, not on YouTube apparently. Casey Peters says maybe the memes are here to make us capitulate faster and harder, so the whales and market makers have more accumulation on the lows and lows. Yeah, we do have an oversaturated market. Memes are paying to that, and let's just face it and call it for what it is. Memes are a good way for bigger players to launder money. And that's what Lazarus has been doing with them. And this is not like it just started. This is what's been going on, people, for a long time. And so, I mean, I think some people in Congress do. I'm not trying to give credit to Elizabeth Warren, but I mean, from an angle, I mean, there are some things to look at there. But the biggest money laundering thing is still the U.S. dollar. But the pump and dumps and the scams and stuff. I mean, but. Finally, we're catching on again. We'll forget here in a few months and say, oh, yeah, but that was then. It's different now. You know, as long as number go up, people overlook that stuff, sadly. Thank you, EW, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Sen says I could listen to this turkey gobble all night. I don't get it, but okay. I like it. 25 people hanging out. Thanks. Hey, there's Bug Pig. How's it going? Talking a lot is good. Well, I seem to talk a lot on this thing. It amazes me how quick the time goes, because my goal was just to have like a 1 hour stream, because I know, and I was talking to Grok, me and Grok have been kind of getting tight lately. Grok is cool. Hang out with Grok. You can talk to him just like a best friend. It's crazy. What was I saying about Grok? Yeah, but I was talking to Grok about, you click through and I'll say, oh, there's a live stream. And it's like, oh, it's 2.5 hours. I'm like, skip. Unless I'm going to fast forward, which I don't blame people for doing that. One of these days I'll get back to doing the chapters and all that stuff. I'll start getting more likes. Scuba Girl says, gotta crash now, y'all. I don't blame you. It is getting late. R.S. Miller says it's holding also tonight really well. I hope it does all night into tomorrow. I'm hoping we've Bitcoin, what are you doing? She's having trouble getting past 89,000 here on Bitcoin. I think this is the main way we got to keep our eye on. And is that my crappy line? That's just the little drawing line. But honestly, I mean, I'm so glad I saw this before I came on stream. This wasn't the chart that I was watching, but this is the ideas I guess I was looking at last night or earlier today. But I for the local 4 hour, the bigger time frame, I mean, this might not hold, okay? But for the local, I mean, this is our angle for this particular move that we got here. What were you? Up through there. So you're probably going to be resistance if we ever, but shoot, we can go back up to 108 and not even bump into you. You're out of the picture. So I'm liking this kind of slanted thing, right? I'm just connecting these dots here, and with these lines intersected, and that's one thing in trend line theory that I look for. Where they intersect, there's usually something that happens, or can be a likelihood for something to happen. Oh man, it's just now we just got to gauge it. And same thing I just did with altcoins. I use the fibs to do that, and we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're trying. 4 hour Bitcoin, we're still below the 9 moving average, but we're trying to go up and test it. 2.36 Fibonacci right here, so we're going to mark that. And even getting back, that's a good step to get past. Remember, it's this 0.5 area, even the 618. If we roll over at the 0.5, we might be okay, but it puts us in a setup that we could see these guys. It's not until we get past the 618 and hold that area that we can kind of not have to worry about these as much. The more rungs on this Fibonacci ladder that we start taking out and playing with, the less likely we are to come down to these lower rungs of the ladder. So that's what we're hoping to see. So right now I need to see a get above 89,210. And although I'd really like to put 94 as a target, I'm really anxious to see if we're fortunate enough to get up here to see what happens at 92. And we're just watching the Fibonacci ladder to determine the strength of this move and if we can recover from here. Because I would personally love, and it would make sense if this was just a spring fake out and then we're starting to go back up to the top of the channel. I would love that, and I think everybody else would love that too. Because we're tired. We're tired of Bitcoin going down and dragging altcoins down. We're tired of Bitcoin going down. We're tired of all the stuff going on in the world. We're tired of all the games being played in governments and in crypto and everywhere. We're tired of it. We're tired of money being taken from us. We're tired of having to claw our way through life, and we're just tired of it. We're tired. And if we bring up our range tool, now the range over here, it's also suggesting this area, the lower value area here at 93,000, point of control being about 96. So we got that idea, and then another way we can pull it out a little further to where, I guess maybe to where this, it'll start changing here. From where the move, most of the impulse move starts there. Depending on how you look at it. You know, we broaden that range, and still we got 89 as an area that we should come up and try to retest that, and if not, get above it so we can start working up to 95. Let's pull and take in, and what this is doing, every time I'm pulling it back, it's just taking in the volume from the other candles here. And so I move it back over here. Now this is really where the whole impulse move started, and if you look at this idea, and this is where you're getting some other people calling for $70-something thousand, pulling from way back here. You know, loss of core control would be headed, and so that's where some of these other arguments are coming from too. A lot of gaps in between here where we could just fall, and you know that's what this says a lot too. But there's a lot of people stepping in here buying too. If they weren't, we wouldn't have these wicks. So nobody knows for sure. There's lots of things that we can look at, and there's lots of bear scenarios. I mean, we're going to find more bear scenarios than you are bullish scenarios right now, because, well, everybody's bearish, feeling bearish and feeling the pain. Personally, I kind of like this idea, and I want to watch this range, and just hope that maybe some of these trend lines that I've drawn, like that yellow one and this white one, will have some relevance and maybe take us back up to the top over here, 104, 105. That's my dream. That's my hope. Don't know if it's going to happen. Got to get past that 89 area though. 89.2 from our pit bull here, 236 area. We can finally knock that one out of the way. I think we got a chance of breathing a little easier. Here on the 1 hour, Ichimoku cloud is very nice and thick. I like that. Here on the 1 hour, we got a bullish cross of the 9 over the 21. I like that. We've not made yet a higher high over here. A lot of people speculating, you know. I mean, if we come up here above the 236, a lot of people have got their stop losses up through here. We can get a short squeeze, and that can push us up to 91. So those are the kind of ideas that we're looking at. People are shorting this market. They have been. Some people have been killing it. I need to check. I think my short got stopped out. I can't remember where it was. Maybe when we came up to 89. Wish it were a bigger short, but I didn't go hard and heavy on it. But it helps offset the loss that that long that I didn't cut off is still in. Hey, bad habits. I guess. What else would I call it? So we're holding the 9 moving average here on the 1 hour. I like it. What if we decide after the stream is over, or we decide we're not going to hold that 9? We would test at 21. I'd be looking at this 88056 area, that 382 Fibonacci. Short term for Bitcoin is what I'd be looking for to hold. 8802. We can hold that. Maybe we come back to 87.6. It would suck, but we're still okay to make some gains. I don't really like that one. The 382 is what we really should be getting right now. Coming back to the 50 wouldn't make me think that we were bullish enough to get out of this area. I want to see a bounce off the 88 area. That will tell me that, hey, we're bullish enough. Or even a bounce where we're at now at that 236. That'd be hella bullish. We just start rocketing up from here. We've already touched our 236 right here, though. See that? So yeah, actually that could happen technically. We've already done our 236. Our 382 Fibonacci. Right here with those two candles. So we've fulfilled that requirement. Maybe we're on our way. Come on down to the smaller time frames, darlings. What are you doing? Even on the 15-minute, we're breaking up through that red cloud. This is a great example of the cloud. Let's get rid of that Fibonacci. This is what I look for all the time on that cloud. I just got the cloud. I don't have all the extra bells and whistles on it because I've got my moving averages and stuff that I use instead. And breaking through a red cloud, riding above a green one. That's the sign we want to see for a trend. What we're not seeing is higher highs yet. What we are seeing is a bottom pattern, which now I'm sure a lot of people have started pointing out is an inverted head and shoulders pattern. That's cool. This one looks like a cowboy hat. It's just got a little dent in the top. It's like an inverted Dirty Sanchez. Where are you, Tool? There's a Tool. Let's see if we can find the most convincing neckline. Because she's slanted. Oh, we completed. That means we got a solid neckline here. When all the colors fill, that means you got a solid neckline. And are we retesting the neckline? Yeah. So we either bounce or we invalidate when we get past this point here at 88. And if price comes back past this shoulder, I don't know if the other pattern traders tell you that, but that's the invalidation point. There's also this Fibonacci area. So if we lose that 382 Fibonacci here, this pattern's invalidated and we might be rolling over. However, we can come and bounce here and still be good, or we can bounce where we're at and kick off this pattern. A little steep for a retest, but you could bounce. If you're looking at that pattern for a measured move, go right above the deepest candle, go all the way straight down. Take that, put it out to the breakout area, and it suggests that we come right up here.
Crypto world got us eclectic. Money moves fast and wild. Surfing waves like a
Inverted head and shoulders. Got to put that little note there so I know. And if you look to the left of that measure move, where does that take you? Smack dab in the middle of this bear flag. It was a bear flag. Gosh darn it, looks like it was a little bear flag. And we'll take it from there to there. How'd you play out, bear flag? Pretty good. You still had some more stuff going with you. Actually, that was taking the elongated measurement. If you take it from here, that one might have been more accurate. That one was a lot more accurate to get the actual next pivot point area. And sometimes it's good to take those conservative measure moves. And actually, that would be the actual measure move. This would be the that would be hoping for a little bit more. But 92 could be coming up, and we need it. We need to get above 89, 90,000 and see if we can hold that. And then maybe we have a shot of recovering from this area. If not, I mean, the lower areas are on the table. Guys, trade wisely, trade safely. Just be cautious. Just be cautious. I'll leave you with one other thing for the pattern traders out there. If you're a pattern trader, you got a lackluster breakout here with no volume over this falling broadening wedge pattern, also known affectionately as a bullish megaphone pattern. It is a bullish pattern, normally breaks to the upside. Would it come back down here? I mean, it can do lots of things. There's no volume here right now. We do have rising price with some falling volume, and that's a little concerning. So we could be here in smaller time. It could be just the market makers backing up on their on their orders there. They're what I get so confused. Ask and bid, backing up on their ask, trying to entice people to bid higher and higher. And that's the game that market makers play, to try and entice you into. And then they put up their little fake orders, boost the price underneath with spoofs. And they help elevate the price up. So look, I'm gonna bid higher than that guy. I don't think it'll hit my price, or somebody's got a firework. A lot of orders there. Yeah, market makers playing games. But there's some signs that we can come up here, and we need to. Guys, thanks for hanging around. Just be cautious. Be cautious. Bitcoin is still at a great place, and I'll say this. I've been saying in trading. I think I said it earlier. But to open up a 3 to 5x small leverage play on Bitcoin, where your liquidation is well below the 70,000 that we may be going to, not a bad idea. I'm just saying. And if she keeps going up from here, you got a good entry. If she keeps going down, well, you work on getting a better entry, an averaged entry between now and where she drops. And you could be building a nice low leverage play there. That you'd be very surprised how well it could do once we get back up to 100,000 or break an all-time high of 110,000 again. Let me give you an idea. Let me give you an idea. Let's say just from here, getting back to I can't stretch you out anymore. Let's say from 88,000 and we go back to 108. Let's say we just get to 105. They're looking right at 18% gains on just spot. That's 1x. Now, if you got 3x behind that, well, you just cleaned up another almost 50% there. If you got 5x, which I think is very doable with still a low liquidation, you might want to check your numbers, but man, you're almost doubling your money right there. Whereas just on spot, it's 18%. Now, I'm not encouraging you to go leverage trading, especially if you're not familiar with it or used to it. There's nothing wrong with spot whatsoever. And in fact, I'd say you're probably the smartest light bulb in the group if you just are on spot, to be honest with you. I'll say that. You probably have, you're suffering less than the rest of everybody else in this market that's freaking out because they are using leverage. So nothing wrong with spot whatsoever. But not everybody does it. Some of us use a little leverage when we can. Low leverage would be what I'd recommend. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Sean, take us to the end screen.
Some tokens that went up into the sky. Thought those gains would never ever say goodbye. Dollar cost dreaming, thought it was the plan. Now my balance sinking like it's stuck in quicksand. They said grab the dip, now I'm flat out of dough. Crypto spinning wild, man, it's taking me low.
I have not heard about that.
From cloud nine to a pit.
Oh, Lifton. Now I have heard rumors about Lifton regulation. Yeah. I thought you said something on new regulation. I have heard rumors about them lifting some regulation. They're going to have to compete with the U.S. because Trump already said we're going to be the crypto capital of the world. Man, I love my president. He just knows how to open up a conversation and get things going. When everybody else is afraid to say something, he'll say something. Everybody else is afraid to say something. We end up getting cornered into something out of fear or whatever, somebody manipulating us or whatever. Not enough spoken, but he'll come out and say something and open a conversation, get people thinking. And we need a lot of thinking. We need more thinking and not blindly following.
Euphoria to gloom every single night.
As an American, it is our duty to respect our president, and I have no problems with it whatsoever. I love this guy. I don't hate meme coins. I just really dislike their existence. The market's already diluted enough, really hard to get any sort of volume into utility coins. That is so true. That is it.
Can't keep up with the tide. Hopes riding high. Now they're taking a dive.
It's an interesting thought.
Digital dreams evaporate so fast. Living in the future now, stuck in the
Well, that's an interesting take. Citadel trying to enter the space shows that they do not like the exchanges. Trying to draw us over into the legacy and corner that area, looks like. Pulling us into Wall Street.
Digital dreams evaporate so fast. Living in the future now, stuck in the past. Searching for a sign that it'll turn around. But my hopes in ruins, all they found is the ground.
Good night, everybody. Have a good one.